This episode of the Inside Running Podcast is powered by Lululemon. With 44 stores across Australia and New Zealand, you can shop the latest range either in-store or online at lululemon.com.au to find your well-being.
Child, that your skin can bring you so much pain. Now I hear you say you got the best of both ways. Won't you come and take a walk in my shoes and tell me if you take my place?
Welcome to episode number 316 of the Inside Running Podcast. Thank you for joining us for another week. It's a big show, not a lot happening, but there's enough happening to get us through the next, I'm going to say 60, 70 minutes. And then you're going to be treated with Viv and Bree doing a product review thanks to Lululemon. Got a listener question in there. Moose on the loose. I'm thinking, Moose, we might have to address a bit of a nerve we hit last week with our GPS running watches. Got maybe some Australian record news with Izzy Bat Doyle over in the Netherlands. Bit of a preview of some things coming up. A few states at their 5K champs and all the other stuff that you expect to hear on this show each and every week. Welcome to the 217 man. He's been breaking, podcasting, streaming, whatever you do, the last couple of days after his Inside the Mind episode. Bradley Croker, how are you this week?
Good, thank you, Brady. How are you?
Good, thanks. As I catch a breath, that was a big introduction. My other co-host, the 214 man down at the Surf Coast Track Club, the big dog down there, Julian Spence. How are you?
I'm all right. I was talking to Christian today, actually.
I heard that 90-minute interview, wasn't it?
He did an interview with me, and he said, "You have to listen to the Brad Croker interview." And I said, "Oh, really?" Mm-hmm. And he goes, "Oh, the man he's a dark man."
It's not about dark man. I was just doing my bit for men's health and just trying to be as honest as I can be.
Well, he told me I need to listen, but I didn't get a chance to listen. So one day I'll listen, Croaks, and then I'll I might change my my perceptions of you this interview.
You've got to listen to him. Even Toby wrote in. Toby's like a great listen with Croaks.
Toby wrote in?
Yeah, I'll go more. I've been doing this for 6 years. Well, I said this on the introduction of the episode that went out today, the Ben Buckingham one. I reckon I've done, 314 or 15 of these, 100 Tell Me Your Tales, and never has the inbox and the response from the audience been as big as that episode with Croaks.
Oh, gee, I'm going to have to listen tomorrow morning then.
Hit home. I think because you're just used to hearing Croaks in a certain way for 6 years, and then you hear this stuff and you're like, just you get to know more about him.
Well, it's certainly the first time I've ever spoken about it, other than maybe with Viv. So anyway, it is what it is.
Go check that episode anyway. How you been, Moose? What's happening down the Surf Coast?
I had a bit of a down week, actually. I planned down week, but I ended up needing it because I had a bit of a knee niggle coming off that long run. Well, maybe not. The long run played a part, but I think I just pushed the training a little too much. So I appreciated having less running that I did last week, and hopefully getting back on track now.
Okay, it's a bit of a concern.
Nah, not a concern. I've got a fucked knee, mate. You know that.
Yeah, but you haven't mentioned it for 2 months. We talked about your skyscrapers last week. They're impressive.
Well, this week we'll drop off 80, maybe 80. I don't know, 80k or something.
96.
Nah, that includes my bike ride.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was about 87. But yeah, less running. It's okay. I needed it. We'll see how we go. I'm back in the gym. You know how I said I'm going to say it's 3 to 4 weeks ago, I said, got to stop the gym work. It's beating me up too much.
On a Sunday.
Yeah, I reckon just in general. I was always sore. I reckon I stopped it, and then I really need it in my training week because my knee starts playing up if I'm not hammering the gym work consistently. The patellofemoral stuff gets a lot of benefit from gym work and especially glute and quad strengthening. And that's the stuff that I've been avoiding just because I wanted a break from the gym stuff for a while, but not good for me.
Do you also think, Moose, like the last month or so, like you've had like a couple of like pretty big weekends in terms of, you know,
I was going to say the same thing, Crooks.
Saturday sessions and, you know, solid long runs, like maybe not so much from the pace point of view, but when you factor in the elevation, it's a solid run. And then also when you factor in, you know, obviously you're climbing these decent sized sort of hills, you got to then come down the other side and you're moving down the hill at a pretty decent clip, which is going to load up your quads and your knee and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I definitely think that. Hills aren't great for knees either. And we went up some big hills, which meant we went down some big hills.
It's probably more the downhill, I reckon, for the knees that's no good.
Yeah, it is. But like you said, if you go up them, you got to come down them.
Yeah.
And so that was the plan this week, avoid the hills. I didn't really feel it until maybe Thursday, and it wasn't even that bad. I just started to get real stiff. It's not a pain, it's not a sharp pain, just a real stiff feeling. And I'm not even sure it's the same issue as what I generally have, but the chances are that it is. I get a very sore upper calf and lower hamstring right in behind the knee, and it really stiffens up. But I think that's just protecting my kneecap a little bit. Like I'm just working my muscles really differently to avoid like full extension on the knee. And yeah, I've started walking around the place backwards just so I don't load it up as much. Okay. Like down the stairs.
Are you going to be right for sessions this week?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I ran twice today. Didn't really feel my knee at all. I ran 90 minutes yesterday, felt it maybe the last 10 minutes, but not that sore. And I'm not sure that it's worse running fast than easy, because I felt fine on Saturday during a faster workout. I'm more worried about the past rather than the present right now. Like I'm worried that because it's turned bad on me in the past, rather than me feeling it now and going, oh, it's really sore. I have memories of last March, which is now a long time ago. And last March is like, fuck, it's nearly 2 years ago, but I had that flare up, and that's the one that I'm worried about.
Okay, we'll take us through your Monday to Sunday.
It was last March. It wasn't this March, was it? Last March. Yeah.
Asaka time.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, it was last March. So, fuck, that's a long time ago. Still remember it, though.
Oh, when you had surgery, you mean? Yeah,
no. When I had the flare-up, when I had the bone stress, because the knee flared up. Anyway, forget it. It's a long time ago, but it's scaring me that could happen again. On the Monday, I ran 45 minutes just around Anglesea. Ran down on the beach for a bit. It was fairly nice. One run a week this week, so planned down week for me was going back to singles only. Tuesday, ran on the trails for an hour, ran past a bloody bush, and then my legs started stinging, and I looked down, and there was a fucking ant on there. And it was one of those you get skippies in Canberra, Croaks?
Skippies?
Skipjacks.
What do they look like?
They're like black with a little yellow nippers.
Nah. Bull ants.
Are they red or are they black?
I'll have a look.
I reckon skippies are like the real stingy ones. You get them, Brady?
My ant knowledge isn't great, to be honest.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah.
Fuck. Skippies is like the most. Oh.
Yeah, no, the ones
images for skippies.
The ones we get here are like black tail and brown. They're brown, but they got like good nippers on the front. If they get hold of you, that hurt. You would have bull ants down there as well.
Yeah,
the
we got
jack
bull ants.
Jumper.
Yeah.
They call them the jack jumper.
Oh, yeah, they named a basketball team after him, didn't they? In Tassie?
Those are stump jumpers, isn't it?
No, I'm pretty sure it's jack jumpers.
I never heard of it being called the jack jumper.
I'm Googling it now.
I thought it was called the skipjack. We call them skippies here. This is crazy. And then there's the
Tasmanian jack jumpers.
Then the red jack jumper. They're the real big fuckers. What's a bull ant then?
I don't know. I've never heard of skippies, but I've heard of bull ants.
There you go.
Skippies
Well,
is
the
a
bull ant
kangaroo.
looks like the same sort of thing, but yeah, just a different colour.
I thought you got bitten by a kangaroo by this title when I first read it.
Yeah, I just thought the whole of Australia knew what a skippy was.
Yeah, well, that's like when the whole of Australia should know who Vicar and Linda are, mate. Same thing.
Oh, mate.
We'll get to that.
No one
Hasn't it been embarrassing 7 days for you boys?
Massive
you know how
fan.
many people said no one knows who that band is to me. He said Brady is tripping.
Anyway,
I said this looks like a penis, but I can't see it really. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong.
yeah,
What do you?
right hand side. I can see it.
What the? Oh,
Going
Just
down
that-
Harvey Street.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, it actually does, the more you look at it.
Which angle am I supposed to look at it from?
Let's just move on. This is the immature radio.
I went and did a workout on Tuesday morning. So this was 20 by 400 at 71s to 74s is what it came out as. I wanted to start at 74s, kind of get down to 72s. So it was a threshold type workout for me. 45 seconds rest. This was one of the easiest workouts I've done in ages. It felt comfortable. I didn't feel at any time under pressure to push to hit splits. I ran with Kieran. He did 15 of these and we alternated reps. The second lot of 5 I did going the other way, so in reverse on the track. The goal was to get some faster running in, but I didn't want anything more than a threshold type workout. And so I ran about 257s to 305s. So I haven't run that fast very often, and I thought this was a safe way to do it. I'm actually going to give this to a lot more of my athletes. I liked it. You get 2 lots of benefit. You get the threshold sort of stuff, 8K worth of training and shorter rest, but you get to run fast as well.
You also get the mental benefit of doing times 20.
Oh, it's pretty easy when you've got someone with you.
But even though it's 400, hard solo, even though it's only 400, you still have to concentrate to turn on 20 times.
Yeah, well, it's so much easier with someone else.
Yeah.
You only have to turn on 10 times, really. And even those 10, you kind of look forward to being the one in charge. So I found this was really easy.
I often do this in 2 sets of 10 with just 30 seconds recovery and then have
you ever done
a
off 30?
couple of minutes in between
Yeah.
sets.
You got to make sure you don't get carried away in it, though. Because you could have blasted it quicker than this.
Yeah, you could have, but there wasn't the point.
Purpose, yeah.
30 seconds could have worked. I reckon the last 5 you'd start noticing that your heart rate wouldn't drop enough. And even it was a good sort of exercise in looking to see what your heart rate does over the course of the reps. So if you sort of click on my heart rate, you can see at the very start it drops down to 110 after the first rest, but at the very end it only drops down to 128. So it changes throughout the workout, and the very peak, at the very highest, it got to 175 beats, which is basically at my upper end of threshold, I think. It's not a taxing workout. I ran the next morning, 45 minutes around home. This is when I did probably feel my knee for the first time. And so I decided to take the next day off, which was Friday, and then ran on. I went for a bike ride instead. So I took Theo out. He was rocking around the single track. The bike's pretty cool because you can get places a little further and you can sneak up on stuff. So there was a few times we turned around these little single tracks and there's an animal just sitting in front of the trail. So there was a wallaby and one just staring at us. And then probably about 10 minutes later, I turned around and there was a fox with her little pup. And I think it's a pup for a fox. Am I right? It's not a cub.
Similar with my ant knowledge on this one.
We're real David Attenborough tonight, aren't we, Moose?
Well, I'm going to say it was a pup. And it was Theo, he just raced after it, chasing it. And it was like bouncing along. It wasn't really running. It was like going up and down. It was pretty funny. It was the cutest little thing ever. I really didn't want him to catch it. And then its mum started to go crazy, like shrieking. And so Theo took off after the mum once it started to make a racket. And the other one was the baby one was just kind of hanging out near me, waiting for the mum to come back. So it was all a bit wild out there. Anyway, I'm not the best on a mountain bike, by the way. Had a few little tumbles. Did a workout with Kieran on Saturday morning. It was 5 by 6 minutes with 75 seconds rest. We ran mainly on the road, like the asphalt part of this loop, because the roads are turning to shit down here. They're getting real sandy. We haven't had enough rain. There's a lot of corrugations, and they're getting very skatey underfoot. So not a very comfortable surface to run on. The first rep felt faster than what it was. It was just, I think, what happens with the first reps for my workouts, but it was 3:22. And then I felt comfortable. I ran 3:13 pace, 3:10 pace, 3:15, and 3:12, all in the good heart rate. So the workout went really well. It kind of showed that I'm coming into some fitness, because I don't reckon I could have done this workout a few weeks ago. I was happy with that. Probably could have done 6, but I thought I'd look after the knee. And then Sunday morning, the plan was you got to run flat for this run, and it was only going to be 90 minutes. So that was always the plan. We've had 3 big weeks in the hills, and so I thought, let's take the group on a flat run. And so we ran out from the chocolate factory, out and back, pretty cruisy, 20k. So 87 or something, lower than what I thought it would be. But if I added another 12k run like I was planning for the Friday, instead of taking it off, it would have been 100. And that's kind of what I was going to aim at anyway.
So even though it's 90, like, you guys really take the foot off the gas as well, pace-wise?
Yeah, we did. And it was flat.
That's why I'm looking at this pace, and I'm looking at like, you guys have you been averaging like 4:15s, 4:20s for like 600 metres?
Yeah, it was a totally different vibe to the run. And you can see my heart rate was 125 average, and the heart rate of my normal run of a Sunday is 143, 145. So 20 beats per minute lower for this run. And I think I felt really good today, and it will help me for this next week when I start building up the mileage again and putting some bigger workouts in.
Yeah, smart. Rightio, Croaks, what have you been doing?
So Tuesday was my first run of the week. We're out to the Thoroughbred Park for some 3-minute reps, the old bread and butter session. So I ran most of these reps with Jack. Let me just go through them. Basically my slowest was 3:24 pace and my fastest was 3:21. Just taking a minute jog recovery, so probably about like 5-minute Ks for the jog. This felt really comfortable. None of the reps I felt like I was really overworking. Could have done quite a few more. So that was Tuesday. Wednesday, got out for an hour, listened to a bit of Vicar and Linda Brady. So I did actually know them, like their most popular song, When Will You Fall For Me? And I've played it a fair few times throughout the week. So
thank you, Croaks.
Yeah, I do remember it because that was probably hit mid-90s or something like that. So fan now of that song anyway.
That's good.
So I did an hour out at Mulligan's, 4:23 per kilometre average. Then on Friday was my next run. So most of the group had a sort of pyramid fartlek session of like 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 3 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute with a minute float. But Jack's running the ACT 3K Champs this weekend, and so I wanted him to do just 1 minute on 1 minute float session times 10, so like just a little bit sort of higher intensity. And he was the only one that was doing that one, so I thought I'd jump in with him. So this actually went pretty well. So it was
hold on a second.
Yeah.
Was that an old school home phone ringing in the background?
I thought that was you, Moose.
No, it was me. It's an iPhone. I don't know how old it is. It's pretty old.
I thought you had one of the old phones,
On the
like
wall.
the old, like put your finger in and you
Oh no.
roll it around.
No. Mum and Dad still do have a landline though. Back at home, I was home on the weekend, and they still have a landline.
Oh, yeah, not many of them getting around anymore.
No. So anyway, our session was 10 by a minute on, minute float. There was a headwind on the way out, tailwind on the way back, and I sort of probably from halfway through the session, I didn't even bother really looking at the paces. I just ran pretty solid for the 1 minute on, and it just backed off enough to feel like I was recovering. And so the paces fluctuated a little bit. So like my slowest rep would have been like 3:15 kilometre pace, and my fastest was the last rep at 2:58 pace. Floats were probably averaging around 3:40s. So I think I averaged maybe 3:06s for the ons and 3:40s for the floats. And so overall I got just under 6K, 5.96 at 3:21s, which like that would have been the fastest 5K I've run since having surgery and I guess being diagnosed with this heart condition. So that was promising because I reckon based off that, I'd be able to run like 16 minutes for 5K because I would have gone through 5K in about 16:40. I was definitely working the last couple of reps as you sort of do in that session, but up until then I felt pretty comfortable. Then after that session, we headed down to the coast for the weekend. So Saturday morning, I just ran from home along sort of the path along Mollymook Beach. So that was just 30 minutes, 7.3K at 4:09s. I love Mollymook. It's where I grew up, but the running is just shit. It's just all road. Like the hills don't bother me. It's more just it's really just uninspiring. Like other than the ocean, it's I don't really enjoy it. Which to the point was when we were down there about a month ago, I didn't do my Sunday long run down there. I waited till we got home that afternoon and went out. But this time around, I did get out Sunday morning on one of sort of my old loops that I used to do down there. So another 90-minute run, 4:10 average, 21.6K for another week of 73K.
Nice, Croaks.
Yep.
300 metres of climbing in there as well, over 90 minutes.
Yeah.
What's
So
your gap?
it's definitely a hilly, it's a hilly place, Ulladulla, but it was good enough.
Got to get you paying for Strava so we can see your gap pace and your weather, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, like 306. It's not too bad. It's more compared to Mulligan's, like we probably do similar elevation, but I'd say the hills are a bit steeper in Ulladulla. So Mulligan's is just constantly sort of just rolling, but you can run up them all pretty quickly, whereas there's a couple of sort of sharper pinches down in Ulladulla.
Yeah, right.
You still think that you wouldn't break 16 for 5K?
Oh, I think look, put me on a track in a pair of like super shoes and I reckon I'd be able to go under 16. But
Shoes would do it for you.
Shoes would do it for me, but not by a whole heap.
What
are
you
you
wear in
training
that workout?
these days?
Was that, sorry?
What are you training in these days?
Shoes.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot in the Next Percent 2. Actually, I've been pretty much doing all my sessions in the Next Percent 2.
Really? See, I have no love for that shoe whatsoever.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like compared to the first version, for me they feel a bit more like a traditional flat in a way. Like I don't feel like I get that. Like the first version, the foam in it, you went, oh yeah, I'm getting some good bounce out of this foam. Whereas that one, it's a fair bit harder and but I like it, compared to the Alpha Fly for the sessions that I'm doing at the moment. Like, I'm running too fast for the Alpha Fly to be any use. I feel like that would just be too clunky in all these sessions that I'm doing. And so it'd be either that or I was going to pull the Zebras out for a bit of a session. I might actually use them in the next week.
Oh, get in those again.
Yeah, because they're probably that would be my next pick for shorter sessions. Yeah.
You done much in them?
No, I've run twice. I've done 2 or 3 sessions in them. Because I've got a pair of, like the ASICS ones they don't agree with me. Like I've got a pair of the Sky Plus or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never felt smooth in them. And I've never felt like I've got a lot back from the ground.
Yeah, me either. I haven't really loved them either.
Yeah.
I've put them away.
Yeah.
People that seem to wear them love them though, don't they? Love or hate kind of shoe.
Are they the ones that get paid by ASICS?
Maybe.
Well, you haven't really run into them either, have you, Brady?
No, I've never got a pair. I got I've only had the Edge.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But still, like they're
much
of a muchness. Like they're still like a super shoe. Like I wouldn't say they're that different.
I don't know if the first iteration of the Edge was that super. The very first model, that Meta Racer wasn't.
No, that was terrible.
But I thought they'd caught up a bit though.
Yeah, but you got the Edge when we got the Sky, so it was the same. It was the same period.
The Sky's the one they all race in, though, isn't it? Like Izzy Bat-Doyle or Sarah Hall.
Yeah, most of them do.
Yeah.
But Moose, would you say there's a big difference in them?
I honestly never got the Edge Plus, and when I had the Edge and the Sky in store, I actually did notice a bit of a difference.
Okay.
I felt like the Edge was really quite flat under the forefoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sky in the first version of them, the Sky provided more back to me than the Edge did. But the second version, we never got the Edge, and I never put one on. But the third, we've actually it's conference time, boys, this week, so I'm starting to see all the ranges, and I just saw some future product from ASICS in the racing range, and interesting.
Because what I find interesting is I don't think one company has nailed the whole market. So like if I had to choose my favorite jogging shoes at the moment, it would be ASICS followed by On, or ASICS and On would be my two favorite in terms of the Super Blast and the Cloud Monster in terms of just going out for long runs. But I wouldn't race in either of those on the road.
Yeah, that's because you haven't. Have you tried the On racing shoe yet?
No, I haven't. But I think I don't think one company has nailed the whole running market
range.
No,
Yeah.
but they very rarely do. That is maybe one season where it's happened, and I'm trying to think of the brand that may have done it, and it was probably. Oh, look, I can't even think of a brand that's ever nailed stability, neutral, lightweight trainer, racing shoe. And these days, it's easier to nail, I think, because most people are wearing neutral shoes only. So I think there's a chance, like On haven't nailed it with their current super shoe. Like I don't think a lot of people wear that. And when you compare it, it's quite harsh underfoot. It's not going to be a marathoning shoe for most people. But I think they're going to bring some stuff out. And I reckon ASICS has a lot of strong stuff right now in the training area. And from what I've seen, I'm pretty excited by the race product that I saw the other day.
Okay. Interesting. I'm going to whip through this week, fellas, because we've got some other stuff to talk about. Monday, 14K, 4:41, 6K in the afternoon, 8 by 15 second hills as well. Just my real basic Mondays in between the workout and the long run on the Sunday. Tuesday, went to the grass track. Don't usually do track on the Tuesday morning, but Nathan Pearce, he was coming to Echuca on the Thursday and wanted to do a threshold workout. So I moved my week around a bit to suit him, to have a training partner. So I went and did some 600 metre repeats, Moose, after we spoke about 600 metres a couple of weeks ago and how much harder they are than 400 metres. You know those days when you just can't get rolling on the warm-up? Like my warm-up average was 440. Had a terrible night's sleep on the Monday. Just was like, just not happy just to be on the track.
What time was it?
I think I started my warm-up at 6 maybe. Maybe workout started at 6:40. Like pretty grim. Grass track, 6:40 a.m. The sun is getting up.
Long warm-up.
6:08 I started the warm-up. I put the cones out on the track and do some strides and all those kind of things. Once I got rolling though, it was okay. I enjoyed it. I did 8 by 600 off 200 metres jog. So I kind of made it, jog around to make every set 800 metres. And then I changed into some spikes and did some 200s. Was kind of going through the 600s in 69, 70 for 146 average. And then the twos were in like 33 off off 100 metres jog between those. So, yeah, it was nice in the end. It was, when you're sometimes dreading the warm-up and then you get there and it's nothing to even worry about. Got out for a double in the afternoon at 4:43 pace for 7K Wednesday. So I just did an hour and 5 minutes at 4:37 pace because I was going into the workout on the Thursday. Can't remember the last time I did a workout, Tuesday, Thursday. I was a bit concerned about that too, how my legs would bounce back. But I'll tell you what, having a training partner has to be one of the most beneficial, training advantages, performance enhancers getting around. I don't think I've done a workout with anyone since May. I think I worked out. And just to have someone to share reps with and just sit in and not have to worry about looking at pace and stuff and I just enjoyed it immensely having someone to train with. I forgot what it was like.
You train with Archie all the time.
Nah, but he's got too quick for me now. He's up at Falls Creek, and when I was doing the Gold Coast prep, he was kind of doing different stuff. So, yeah, it'd been a while since I'd done a workout with someone at similar ability. So, Nathan and I did mile reps at about 3:15 pace off 90 seconds jog. Wore the Coros strap for the first time moose to get some heart rate data, which was good. And even just
what do you think?
Yeah, it was accurate. It was, you can just see, he didn't jump around, which is exactly the problem I've had in the past with some of the chest straps. When you look down and you're like, there's no way, I'm warming up and it says 170, or then you're doing workouts and it says 130, whereas this was just right on that 160, 164 kind of range that I'd expect it to be, and just stayed in the right spot. So I'm pretty comfortable as well. So that was good. So we just took a mile each, and then the next person led the whole complete next mile, and we just sat in behind each other, and it was just a very enjoyable workout. Then in the Arvo, got out for 7.5K at 4:34s. Friday was easy, 60 minutes at 4:39 pace, and then 7.5K in the afternoon at 4:40s. And then Saturday I did my long run because I'd kind of worked out on the Thursday. I was kind of right to do the longie on the Saturday, and because I'm going to Bendigo tomorrow night, which will be Tuesday, for a bit of I'm going to say it's a race, but a bit of a hit out, not really focus on the race, and I'll do a bit of a workout afterwards. I thought having the extra 24 hours going into Tuesday would be good as well. So got out on the hills, did 34K at 4:05s. I reckon my heart rate, this was interesting actually, wearing a long run for the heart rate, for the, I rarely put a heart rate monitor on here, so is 145, I reckon, that a bit too high, you reckon? Should I be backing off a bit? Am I doing these long runs too hard?
I think I don't know, I think that's all right.
That's all right?
Well, what'd you get up to? Was it real high towards the end?
I got to about 20 degrees towards the end. Well, I went up there was pretty hilly towards the end. I'm trying to think. One of the hills, I reckon I was 160. Going up. That's 162 up a hill.
Everyone's heart rate's different. Some people will run super easy at 160 beats. Some people 140 will be quite taxing. So no one can answer that when you ask, is 140 all right for me? Without seeing all your other data.
Oh, yeah. Well, considering I was running 310 pace at 160 for the workout.
What's your threshold heart rate?
I got it done years and years ago. But I
thought you got it done with that nutrition study.
Yeah, I did. That was 2017, I reckon. 2018.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah.
It was when I went and did that Nobioka marathon.
So what was your threshold heart rate then?
I reckon it was 163 to 170 or something like that. Let me look it up. I'll tell you. I don't know if I'll be able to find it off the top of my head, actually. But yeah, it's right. Around about, I try to sit around that 160 to 165 when I'm doing the threshold workouts. So yeah, it was good to knock that over on Saturday, freeze up the weekend a bit, and then Sunday got out for, what was it, maybe 16K in the morning, 4:37s, and then 6K in the afternoon at 4:31s. Got that course record, boys, on that hill I was talking about a couple of weeks ago. Remember that one?
Yeah, well done, mate.
Thank you. Stood since 2014. I was stoked over that. 283rd time I've gone over that hill.
Send the bloke a message?
Nah. No way.
He'll just get an email.
I've got so much respect for Gary Norman, Peter Norman's son, silver medalist at the Mexico Olympics. It'd be like trying to, I was thinking about it today, it'd be like trying to take a title off Mike Tyson's son or Muhammad Ali or something like that if you're into boxing. I was pretty stoked to get that one, fellas. Pretty stoked. Just never give up on your dreams. Week of 163. Yeah, it was good. Another good week. Guess who's coming on my long run this week, Croaks? Meet me down in the paddocks of, where we calling this? Maybe Corop, maybe Colbinabin. Don't have to do it solo. Have a guess.
I don't know. Your boy, Nate Stoke?
A bigger name than that. Olympian. You know, Moose?
Which Olympics?
Tokyo. Just gone.
Do I know what?
Do you know who's coming?
Bucks?
No. Think close to the home. Think close to the home.
Coming to Echuca.
Yeah, not Echuca. About half an hour from Echuca. Coming to run some hills down the road from Echuca. Pashley. Ali Pashley. Coming down
Pyramid Hill.
This Sunday morning. Nah, this is where she's from. Joseph's from Pyramid Hill. This is like Colbinabin. Big name coming to the long run this week, boys. Yeah. What's the bet? 30 people come out of Bendigo to just conveniently come and do the long run, where I've been doing it solo for the last month.
I'll give you a tip. Don't get stuck next to her for a long run because she has the worst fucking chat there is.
Mate, it might be just me and her.
You'll want to find yourself on the other end of that group because if you get stuck, she'll chew your ear off about the most boring stuff in the world.
It's a huge chance it's just going to be the two of us, I reckon. But I'm looking forward to having some company down there.
Get ready to lace up for a cause that matters. More Than a Run, powered by Lululemon, is a hybrid event spanning across Australia and New Zealand, uniting the running community to support men's health. Join as an individual or enter a team with your club or run crew and choose to run the More Than a Run 10K, 30K or 60K on November 25th. For more information on how to get involved, visit morethanarun.com.au.
All right, let's talk about some running news. Thanks some patrons before we do that, Krog. So you got?
I got Samuel Wenlock. Samuel lives in Wyndham Vale in Victoria. Has run 18:51 at the Wyndham Vale Park Run, 79 minutes at this year's Sandy Point Half Marathon, and 3:02 at last year's Melbourne Marathon. I think he might play for the Wyndham Vale Falcons, play footy that is, just based on he's part of the pre-season training Strava group for the Wyndham Vale Falcons. So just put 2 and 2 together there. So thank you, Samuel.
Moving for a footballer, 18:51. That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Moose, who you got?
I've got Jared Templar. So Jared Templar, I think he's from Ballarat, but he lives in Padbury, Western Australia. He has the best 5K time of 22:31 at the Joondalup Park Run, Lake Joondalup Park Run. Not a lot of activities on Strava lately, but it looks like it was recently in Bali and Nusa Dua. He's a superintendent mine geologist. Well,
his LinkedIn just has superintendent mine geology.
Okay, whatever that means. For IGO Limited, an exploration and mining company with a purpose of making a difference. Making a difference, eh? That's a good mining company.
I think he's into the sustainable space.
Sustainable coal. Now, interesting, Jared Templar. Now, this is my guess because he went to school, St. Patrick's, Ballarat. He may be the cousin of one Nathan Hartigan, previous guest on the show. And brother of Justin Templar. But their grandfather is a bloke called Len Templar. So Len Templar was a coach of men. He played, he was like an athletics coach, but he was also a football coach. I reckon he was the captain of North Melbourne Football Club. He was born in 1930, but let me just pull up. Like, he's actually had quite he's a really famous character around Ballarat, especially like, obviously, because running was skillsy. He would come out to our runs, and he would go up like on the top of the mountain at Buninyong and wait for Skillsy while he did the tempo run. And I know that he used to coach him, and yeah, he's a real legend, Lenny Templar.
Good insight there, Moose. That's why I gave Jared to you, because I thought you'd have a bit of extra info.
Good. It was good from you. There was some statistic, though, like he's in the Redan team of the century, but I'm going to say that he won. There was something about Lenny, what he did. It was like some stat, but I can't remember. I'm going to have to come back to you on that.
Just on footy stuff, Moose. Did you see that kid I was talking about last year just went number 1?
Is that tonight, that draft?
Yeah, it was at 7 p.m.
Oh, I didn't see that. No.
They gave
Who did he
him
go to?
West Coast.
The Eagles.
They gave him number 9 too.
Oh, Cousins.
Ben Cousins' number, yeah.
Yeah, well, stay away from the ice pipe.
Anthony Hall, I'm going to thank you, from Bristol in the UK. According to the Power of 10 website, he has a PB of 16.46 for 5K, 34.50 for 10K at the 2013 Middlesex 10K, and 76.26 at the 2013 Watford Half Marathon, and also 2.47 at the 2013 Paris Marathon. A lot of these PBs back in 2013, Croaks. Got anything recent?
No. They're his PBs. Remember, after last week's conversation, we can't talk about current season's best. It's like they're your PBs.
Yep, runs for Bristol and West, and is a regular at the Ashton Court Park Run. I reckon that's pretty hilly, that one too. Could be a design engineer at Rolls-Royce. Jeez, there's some good titles getting around again, isn't there?
Well, yeah, I'm not sure of this one. There's a few Anthony Halls from Bristol on LinkedIn, but I'm like, that one's a pretty good one. I'm just going to go with that one.
Give him that one for sure. Hey, patrons, we've got some big stuff coming soon. We got signed off on... Can we talk about Road to Osaka yet? Can we do that? Maybe?
Why not?
Yeah, we can do a bit of that. Well, no, actually we can't yet. But there'll be some news coming real soon about that. Also, I was thinking, boys, I might catch up with the Road to Gold Coast guys, Tim Vincent and Ed Goddard, because Ed's about to run a marathon. Tim just ran a marathon, so it'd be good to catch up with them. Early access, heaps of bonus content coming at you over the next couple of weeks or so. Let's go to runner news. Hey, who's blue? Moose, tell us about the Vic 5K Champs. This was a good race in the men's.
Yeah, it was an interesting race. So the group went off fairly slowly. Sam Clifford from Tassie was obviously over to try to run a good time, so he decided, why go to Victoria all the way over? May have caught the boat over, who knows, and run slow. So he took off from the pack and put, I'm going to say at one point, maybe 50 metres on the rest of the pack. Back in the pack, though, you had some quality athletes. So you had Liam Cashin, who smoked up that 3K last week, and you had Adrian Potter, you had Harry Norman, Cody Shanahan, all guys that can run pretty quick. And the pack ended up catching Sam. I'm going to say it was probably with about 4 laps to go, maybe 5 laps to go. That's just from memory. And it turned into a bit of a kicker's race. So I had my money on Cody Shanahan because he knows how to finish races really quick, and he's pretty graceful when he runs, actually. Harry Norman was the 1500 athlete. He's got a good time in the field there, and I know he's had a relatively good cross-country season, and his running style I wouldn't call graceful, but he took off and he had the pace and he got the win in 14:13. He probably won the race at about the 300 metres to go mark. But at the 400 metres, he's taken 3 spots on the inside through the pack. He somehow pushed his way through as he saw, I think it was Liam Cashin went to the front. And
yeah, well, he snuck through as well. Dejan was leading, and then he went up the inside, Cashin did, and Harry reacted to that.
It was a pretty wild bell.
No, that was with 2 laps to go, not a bell.
Oh, was it? Yeah,
that was with 2 laps to go. Because they ran 2:01 for the last 800. Or Harry did.
Yeah, wow, that's going all right. And it was pretty slow up until then. If they've run 2:01 and he's run 14:13, that was a pretty slow race. Sam Clifford got second, 14:14, and Cody Shanahan also 14:14 for third. In the ladies' race, real pedestrian start as well. No one wanted to get on front, do the work, until Gemma Maini got to the front. So after Melbourne, she's come back all right. Got back on the track, and she took the pace. I'm going to say about 2k in, went to the front and started burning it. So she didn't get anyone really go with her. So she's run 16:53. Second place was Imogen Hume, who I think was probably chasing her and maybe pulled a bit back towards the end. She ran 16:59, and Piper Gay was third in 17:02. South Australia, they also had their 5,000 metres this weekend. So good comparisons here. Adrian Potter, 14:17, got the win. I didn't watch any of these, so I can't tell you exactly how it went down. Thomas Dowd was second in 14:31. And then third place in what I hear was a great battle out on the track, Arron Nitschke ran 14:37. So the depth not really there over there compared to the men's race for the 5,000 metres champs, except in the women, actually very deep. So in the women's race, Caitlin Adams ran 15:57, so nearly a minute quicker than her Victorian counterpart to get the win. And she's beaten Tara Palm, 16:25. And Poppy Austin, she's actually she's from Hamilton down in Victoria, living over in Adelaide now. She's run 16:56, so she would have finished second in the Victorian race, just off the win there. But she's come third, so a minute behind Caitlin.
Caitlin just can't stop winning, can she? Just keeps putting them together, these W's.
Well, she didn't win Burnie.
Watch for her at Zatopek.
She didn't win Burnie.
Yeah, well, she won Noosa Bolt 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Moose. 2 in a row.
Okay.
Point to Pinnacle also happened down in Tassie. What is it? 21k? Is it exactly half marathon or a bit further? Maybe
no, I think it's a half. Yeah, I think it's a half marathon.
World's toughest half marathon, all uphill. Aaron Harvey got the win there, 86.23. Michael Sutton was second in 89.03. And friend of the show, Nick Earl, third in 90.38. Millie Clark got the win in the women's off the back of Melbourne Marathon, 1:42.12. Melanie Daniels second, 1:43.21. And Emily Burns, 1:47.09. Must put it on the bucket list to do one here, boys. Be quite difficult to do, but yeah, sure.
Real influencer frenzy over there. You'd love it.
Nah.
Surely it's in your contract to go and be influencer over there.
Nah, do what I want.
Loves the hill too, Moose.
I'm getting good at hills, boys.
I wouldn't mind running that against you, actually. I reckon it could be good.
Mate, well, I've smoked you on the hills at Bundoora. That's the last time
I
we've
haven't
raced hills.
beaten you in such a long time. That would be glorious.
I reckon I'd be fine up those hills. Tim Vincent, this was the huge news over the weekend. So his PB of 2:17.17 at the Gold Coast Marathon this July just gone. Because he was the first Queenslander, he got a ticket to the Kobe Marathon over in Japan. He went out and come second and ran 2:12.05, so taking over 5 minutes off his PB. Look at his splits on Strava, negative split. I think he ran the last 2k in 6:02. Looked like everything went, amazingly for him. And just a huge, has Tim Vincent entered the chat now that we were having last week about who can potentially go to Paris?
Yeah, well, based on his half, what's he I know the one that he ran over in Rome was not legal, but that was a super quick time.
61 it was, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're running 61 for the half,
wonder if that counts for his points. Let me just have a look at that.
I reckon it was too long ago.
Okay.
But if you're running 61 for the half, there's no reason that you're not going well under 2:10, and it goes to show that the marathon is a bit of a different event because it's hard to nail the first one, which he obviously didn't, running 2:17, but then 5 minutes is a nice little improvement for his second one, and then I'm guessing his next one, and I'm guessing that course is probably, I don't know, is it super quick? I've never really heard about this marathon before, but I think now the fact that he ran a negative split as well, he sort of got his head around how to run the marathon, and I'm sure for his next one he'll be looking to go closer to 2:10, if not under it.
I remember copping some flack from you blokes about being a bit harsh on Tim Vincent from Gold Coast. This is the exact reason this was the reasoning behind my comments at the time, is because he has this in him, and being satisfied at 2:17 back then for a bloke this good, when he has this under his belt 5 months later, this is what he should be running. He's not in the conversation for Paris at 2:12. The qualifying time is what, 2:08:30 or something, and he's not going
2:08:10.
2:08:10. So he's like 4 minutes off it. And I don't think he'll be anywhere near the points that get selected, because there's nearly 80 qualified athletes from the entire like all the countries eligible for the Olympics.
Just on times, you mean?
Just on times,
okay.
Yeah. So I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of points athletes find their way to the men's marathon. I think you're going to have to go run a time for that one.
How many did you say again, Moose?
Interesting.
That have qualified on time?
I think nearly 8. Like, it's nearly full.
So someone like Liam, like we thought Liam was almost a lock, given like how many points he's accrued and coming so close to the time. You reckon he might miss out?
No, there's probably. I'm not sure whether they add more spots after or not, or whether if they fill it with 80, they just take the 80 and they don't do any rankings.
Well, I think what they do is if you've run the time, they'll extend it to like past 80. But they're not going to. So let's say you've got 90 people that have qualified on time, the field will be 90. But there's no way they're adding any for point system. So the only way points will come into play is if they haven't reached their 80 quota.
So
Liam's still in 57th.
But what about how many have qualified?
Well, but you're putting in the 3 per country rule there, though.
3 per country. Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, he's still there then. Qualified by entry standard.
So let's say there's
Brett Robinson in 40th. Yeah, so by entry standard, there's 52.
Okay.
So there's 52 out of 80 that have already qualified.
Yeah.
Now, that's before Valencia. That's before London. Seville. It's before any of the Japanese marathons. Yeah, so you would assume that people are going to go run some times there, wouldn't you? Maybe not another 30, but let's say another 15 do. And so all of a sudden you're up to 67. You've got 13 spots for points only.
Yeah, you're onto something there, Moose.
Yeah. The good thing for Tim, though, Tim's only 25. So in terms of like marathoning, like he's got, a fair few years ahead of him. So, Paris is probably a long shot, but you'd expect to see him in a fair few more Aussie singlets over the next 5-10 years.
Yeah, so Ed Goddard's the one more in trouble now then, because he's like 74th or something, I reckon, with the points.
Oh, these they're not going to get in.
Get bumped.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think you're going to see the 2:12 to 2:14 guys getting in the marathon.
Yeah. NCAA cross country croaks.
Yeah. Did any of you boys see any of this?
No, I haven't got around to watching any yet. I think it's on YouTube though.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. But the women's race was won by Parker Valby. She runs for Florida. The best Aussie was Izzy Thornton-Bott. She finished 40th, running for the University of Oregon. NC State won the teams event. I think they won last year as well. They beat NAU by 1 point. In the men's, Graham Blanks from Harvard won the men's race. Kai Robinson was the best Aussie in third, and Oklahoma State won the teams competition, beating NAU by 22 points. So, NAU have been pretty dominant the last few years, so they got rolled. And then the only other bit of news was Kiplimo equals the 15K world best record over in the Netherlands. He ran 41:05, which was the same time that Cheptegei ran in 2018. We also had Izzy Fat Doyle in the women's. She finished 4th, which was a new Australian 15K best time. So I looked into this today. So they on the World Athletics website, you can go to like world rankings and top lists, and they do actually have a 15K event. The thing is, it needs to be a 15K event that they've run in. So, for example, Karen McCann holds the Australian half marathon record, and Karen's average pace for the half marathon is slightly faster than what Izzy ran on the weekend for this. So, but it's the fastest 15K by an Aussie. So 48.22 she ran. The previous record was 48.37 by Susie Power.
So there's no Aussie record like on the AA record books or anything like that?
No, not that I could find. No. The only road running records they have on the AA books is the marathon, the half marathon, 10K road, 5K road, and they will add the mile because they're trying to put it in line with like the World Road Running Championships that they had recently, and they had a mile there, so that they are going to hold an Aussie Road Mile Championships at some point. But yeah, like good run from Izzy. Like she's obviously fit in the lead up to Valencia. But I find it weird that you can have like a 15K Aussie record or best when somebody's run an extra 6K at a slightly faster pace than that. But anyway, I guess that's
all about having the certification at that mark on the course, though, to make it official. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because Karen might have done that off a big last 6K kickdown.
Yeah.
So she might not have been at 15K quicker than Izzy.
Yeah, but even for Kip Limo, so like they've said that like Kip Limo's equaled the fastest 15K time, and he ran, so it was 41:05, but he's gone through 15K of a half marathon in 40:27. So he's gone through what's that, nearly 40 seconds faster, but because it was not a 15. Yeah, because this is a 15K race, that's the world's fastest 15K or world best, even though it's not the fastest 15K run.
I'd assume they'd have to put a bit of resources into getting those official, because every race has them, don't they? You go over the timing mats.
Yeah,
and there must be like another hoop you got to jump through to get it. You know what I mean? At Valencia, for example, he would have ran that half marathon.
But I reckon when it says here, Kip Limo recorded a 15K split of 40:27 en route to his half marathon world record in Lisbon. They would have had 5K mats.
Yeah, but so why doesn't that just count for the record then?
Well, I reckon it probably should.
It's all Mickey Mouse.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Karen went through 15K faster than what Izzy ran yesterday.
Yeah, I was looking into it a bit today as well, and I actually saw that Lee Troop had the 30K record instead of Brett Robinson, because at London one year he went quicker through 30K than what Robbo did at Fukuoka.
I didn't think AA had 30K record though.
Well, this was on this is on Wikipedia, just like a list of Australian records.
Wikipedia ain't AA.
Yeah,
but still,
I don't know how official Wikipedia is.
It looks pretty legit on there. Have a look at it next time. Okay.
Have you seen some people's Wikipedia pages and what's been written about them?
No, but they'd get.
Don't believe everything on a Wikipedia page.
Yeah, I don't know. I reckon it gets a bad rap. What's the listener question this week, Bradley?
Let's go the one about speed work. And it says, is speed work overrated for the marathon? And that question comes in from Brett Slater.
Good question, Brett.
It's got to be. You kind of have to define speed work here, don't you? So let's give two clear definitions of what people call speed work. So track runners call speed work probably anything 150 meters or less, and we're talking proper speed work. We're talking like sprint training. And then say a 10K runner might call speed work doing 400s at 3K pace.
Yeah.
And then marathoners might call speed work K reps at 10K pace. So there's a lot of different definitions floating around for speed work. So which one do you want to go with?
Let's go the one with let's not go the pure track runners of like 150 meter reps. Like let's go longer than that, I reckon.
Let's go half marathon and marathoners. I don't know if half marathoners and marathoners would call K reps at 10K pace speed work.
I would have thought maybe 400s.
400s or 500s,
At what pace?
At like 5K, maybe 5K pace, 3K, 5K pace.
Yeah.
Like if I was to go run 400 metre reps when I'm training for a marathon and run them in 63 to 65.
Oh, you just said 5K pace.
3 to 5K pace, I said.
5K in that?
63. 3K to 5K pace.
When have you broken 8 minutes for 3K?
Yeah, I probably could do it if I had a good opportunity. Good iron levels. Good no wind on the track.
Get back to that industrial estate of yours.
Doing 3K tomorrow night. Refresh your Strava at 7:30, boys.
You better break 8 minutes. I want to see a few 63-second laps.
I'll be stoked with sub 9 minutes, to be honest. You know what I mean, though? Like that kind of like maybe 1,500 work. 15 to 3K. That's 4-minute pace. I could run that.
All right.
I think that is overrated for them. That is overrated for the marathon.
High risk, very low reward.
I think sessions like what Moose did this week, where he's running like some 400s at maybe 5K pace, slightly slower off 45 seconds recovery or 30 seconds recovery. I think there's value in that because often I think people neglect. The risk of getting into a marathon block and not doing any speed work whatsoever is that one, like the benefit of speed work, I think as well, is you can become a bit of a more efficient runner. And so it helps with that. Plus, like you just become real sluggish and you become just that one paced if everything you do is slow and marathon pace. So I think you definitely be wanting to run faster than marathon pace in a marathon prep. You probably don't need to go much faster than 5K pace though.
It gives you more of a top end, doesn't it? So if you're just running 10 weeks of marathon pace, and say your marathon pace is 3 minutes 30 per K, and you're going out, you're doing 4x4K, and you're doing 20K long runs or 20K tempos at 3:35 or whatever, your top end becomes sort of 3:30. Like that's the only sort of pace that you're running, and everything outside of that mechanically feels like a stretch. And so if you mechanically have a top end of 3:30 and you go to the marathon and you're running at your mechanical top end, then as soon as you get fatigued, you're going to drop your pace down. And so that your top end mechanical pace shouldn't be 3:30, shouldn't be marathon pace. And I think that's where the biggest benefit is. Like you become more efficient, like you said, Croaks. You become more efficient and you can mechanically run at marathon pace a lot more comfortably. And I don't think that's overrated at all. I think it's underrated actually.
Yeah.
I see so many people chasing fucking Strava glory with massive workouts and ignoring the faster stuff because it's just not, it's gone out of favor. It's not sexy anymore. The big stuff's sexy. And I like to go back and at least once a fortnight do something at 5K pace.
Well, the road to Berlin, boys, like I had Rob doing, some form of speed work. Speed work like every week.
Yeah.
And the other thing I like about it in a marathon block, especially if you're training with a group, is it allows that person to still be part of the group, which I think is a massive component as well. If you're just stuck on your own training for a marathon and everything you do is long and slow and everybody else is training for 10K races, like they're not going to be joining in on those sessions. And so if you're doing some 400 meter reps or some 600s or 800s, you can still be part of the group and you're still getting, physiological benefit as well.
Strides and hill strides as well. Good for that.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be a full-on workout.
That's real speed work. Like that's a sprinter's speed work is those 10, 15 second hill reps.
But it doesn't have to be at 100%. Do you know what I mean?
No, you can treat them like bounding. Treat them like a plyometric. That's another thing people get wrong is when like true speed work should be more plyo type explosiveness, not like repeats. If you want to get to the hills, don't think of it like I'm going to do an aerobic workout. Like bound up them with power and then walk down.
I more meant like say you're doing 8 by 20 second strides. You don't, just because they're 20 seconds, it doesn't have to be like sprint as far as you can in 20 seconds. Yeah. Like if you can hit them at 3K pace in training, that still feels bloody fast and it's going to be way quicker than your marathon pace.
Feel better at the end of them too.
Oh, man. Yeah, strides are great, aren't they? And work your way into it, that kind of stuff. But you don't want to like be heavy for marathon training, think you got to go out of the blocks as hard as you can in your first stride and then do a calf.
Well, because if you put this question to your deeks and your monitors, say speed work overrated for the marathon, they're like, have you seen what I do on a Tuesday? I go and do quarters or I do a monofartlek and, Mona's running significantly faster than marathon pace for monofartlek.
Yeah, well, Thursdays he's doing the 400s or the K reps or miles.
Yeah.
Saturday he's running a hard, like
hills.
Threshold type workout. So.
But that hilly stuff they would do, they would nearly sprint up the hill as hard as they could, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that was hard. It was above thresh. It was race effort basically. It was, or it was a cross-country race, really.
Yep. Good question, Brett. Enjoyed that one. Moose on the loose.
Well, yeah. Interesting one. Do you know what? I ran my Saturday workout, and I set it up in my Garmin before I started. I had intervals on, unstructured rest. I think it was, no, unstructured interval, and I ran the 6-minute interval, and then the rest was open. So I just pressed lap again to start because I didn't know exactly how much rest I was going to take. And then when I put it on the Strava, it's somewhere in the middle, my average of just my moving time and my overall time. My overall pace was 3:40, and my moving pace would have been something like 3:15, 3:16, I reckon. But it's given me 3:25. So I don't know how it's worked that out. So it's like when I've been fully stationary, it's counted me as not moving, and so it hasn't added that to the average. But if I've been walking, it's counted that. I think that's what's happened.
Yeah, I have the same thing happen. If I'm at the track and I'm not doing a lot in between reps, there'll be a distinct difference between the session time and the overall time. But I haven't stopped my watch. I've just pressed lap.
Yeah.
But when the watch detects that you've stopped, for some reason, it affects the whole average pace for the session.
Yeah, because after our chat last week, we had a lot of people writing in saying they're not doing this intentionally. This is what actually happens. Well, we had a lot of stuff, different stuff coming in. Some people like, I stop my watch and then you can still see the elapsed time, so then they know when to go again to start their watch. Other people said the programmed workouts are doing what yours did on this workout.
Yeah, I think the programmed workouts, like I'm going to pay that. But during that 400 workout, when I was hit lap to end the rep, then you walk around and then you hit lap to start the next rep.
So because that wasn't a structured workout, yours elapsed time and workout time wasn't different.
That's right.
So it's when you program them into your watch.
I think so. However, there's some people saying that it's actually easier to stop your watch. Now, I was thinking that during the workout, and I'm like, no possible way.
They do the
would
maths.
that be easier to stop the fucking watch, go back to the data screens?
No, they reckon it says it on there. They don't have to.
But if you've got it set up, it counts down for you. You have a look and it's like 30 seconds, and then you look down, it's 29 seconds, and so you know exactly how long you got to go.
Yeah, but
and then it starts beeping with 5 seconds to go if you've set it up in your watch.
If you finish a 400 though and hit stop, and then the time is 9:27 and 38 seconds, you just know you're going at 9:28 and 38 seconds.
Yeah, but if I press lap and I have lap time,
then that's what I do.
It goes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to then I go again at a minute and press lap when it gets to a minute.
I'm the same, or 50 seconds or 30 or whatever you're doing. Yeah.
There's some people spending a lot of money on GPS watches that need to actually read the instructions booklet, I reckon.
I think though, Moose, what
they're
you're saying
actually
about
doing more complicated stuff though, aren't they?
Well,
if you
they're
program it in,
overcomplicating it. We got the shortcut.
I think though, Moose, with the difference in moving time and elapsed time, if you then go into your laps, that's a true reflection of what's happened.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so that's all there. It's just the overall, when you look at Strava, it says, okay, you've run this distance, this is your moving time, and this is your average. And that's going to be different to the reality.
Yeah.
But if you actually click into laps, that will give you exactly what you've done for each interval and each recovery.
But if you're a tight ass like Ryan Cramery and you don't pay your Strava fees, then you're on your both of you tight asses. So then you there is no laps option when you're on your phone. I can't go in and click view workout.
No,
there's no workout there to view.
That's why I look at pretty much all. So I hardly ever look at Strava on my phone. It's always on my computer, and so it doesn't matter whether somebody has paid for Strava or not. You can access everybody's laps on the desktop.
Yeah.
We should be making it easier, not harder. Because I got a question on one of my runs about why do you upload the warm-up and cool-down separately?
That's easy. That's an easy answer.
Come on. You're kidding me, right?
No. It was a genuine question. Do you want me to read it out?
No, they were taking the piss.
But it's the same.
No, some people do it. So Nathan Pearce I ran with, he uploads it all as one. So does Archie. It does my head in. You got to then click in it, look at their laps.
There's the theory in our group. The theory is that if you've uploaded warm-up and cool-down as well as your workout, you've had a really shit workout, and you don't want people to click on it and see it. You don't want to isolate it on Strava and bring attention to it. It can really fade into the background if you're doing warm-up cool-downs. And I'm going to go
the other way. Watch this, though, because when Nathan Pearce uploads this, his workout from our Tuesday workout, we did exactly the same thing, comes out at 19.5K. The workout part of it was 11.3. If I was to upload 19.5K at 347, I reckon I'd get more kudos than if I just upload 11.3 at 325s.
What was his pace for 19 point whatever?
347s.
And you?
325s for 11.
Yeah. Mate, I'm not kudos
I know, but
347.
but you look at how many kudos you got for your track workout. It doesn't work the algorithm. People don't respect it. I think it just
I like my track workout.
No, I do. I respect that doing 20 by 400 is a thing, but because it comes out at like slow average pace and not like it's only 8K worth of work, it doesn't get the same kudos as if you put your warm up and cool down together with it.
No, that's not on.
I know it's not, but that's what society on Strava's doing.
Well, the reason I've always done it is so I can go back and compare, like if I'm doing a on a fartlek or something like
that's
that.
What I said.
For the 20 minutes, what have I averaged for that fartlek? Or same with like the athletes that I coach. If I want to go back and say they've done a 30-minute tempo and they've got K splits on, like it's okay if they've set it up where it's like, just the one segment of 30 minutes for the tempo. I can click on their laps and see what they've averaged for that. But if they've just had K splits on for the whole 30-minute tempo, like I've got to do a hell of a lot of maths to work out what they've actually run for it. So I prefer to have just the session showing on its own for that reason, to be able to analyse things a bit easier.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I agree with you 100%. Like, because the warm-up and cool-downs, I don't care about that. I just did say earlier that my cool-down my warm-up was a slower pace than what I was hoping it was going to be. But really, it doesn't. I never think, oh, geez, I was flying when I was warming up at 410s. Like, it's what the quality of the workout is that means the most to me.
Yeah.
And I think people are scared of clogging up the Strava feed. Clog it up. Do what you want.
Well, look at Paddy Stowe. He clogs it up with bloody strides.
Yeah, I don't know about strides.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
But
no, the strides are a definite no. Strides will get you a fucking unfollow from me.
I never even include, like, say I'm going out for a 35-minute run and I'm doing strides at the end. I don't even, like, include the strides in that run itself. I'll stop my watch after 35 minutes, save it, and then just do strides.
No, mate, what about your weekly mileage?
I don't care. So my strides never get included.
Oh, really?
Well, do your strides pre-session come up?
Yeah. So if you click on...
You have that. You keep your warm-up going for your strides.
So I do my warm-up, get back to the car, pause my watch, change my shoes, do drills, and then I'll start my watch when I start the stride, and then hit lap button, and then jog around for a minute, and then hit my watch again when I do another stride.
What do you do, Moose? Do you save?
Do
you just finish your warm-up and then save it and then just do your strides?
Yeah, I'm half and half. Occasionally, if I've forgotten to stop my watch and actually save the run at the car before I head down to the workout spot, I'll just add a few strides onto that warm-up before I do the workout. But if I've already saved it, then they happen without being recorded.
Yeah.
Hey, all the mileage counts towards the totals, boys. So have you actually got a moose on the loose, or we just addressing last week's?
Yeah, I don't really, nah. There was
discussion.
something that annoyed me the other day.
Just one thing.
Yeah, there's a few things that I can't really, like, there's a few things we'll let go.
I need to start writing these things down, Moose, because there'll be something on our message group you'll, like, crack the shits about.
I know.
And then we get to Monday night, and I'm like, what was Moose cracking the shits about during the week?
Hey, I gotta let some things go. You can't. There's certain topics that are out of bounds. You know, I can't start getting personal on here.
Well, we want to come back next week, don't we?
Coming back for sure.
We're reaching a broader audience. Actually, we had a surgeon in the store the other day, asked us to keep the language a bit more kid friendly because his kid listens.
Oh, we've got the little E, like, for explicit content on the
Yeah, I know,
show.
but he's like, kid loves it. But
his kid loves it. Okay.
Yeah, no, kid doesn't love the swearing, but he's like, hey, the kid loves the podcast. I like it too. I just don't want the kid hearing you say like fuck all the time.
I probably his kid was like 2 or 3, like just a kid in the backseat.
Oh no,
An actual kid listener. Yeah, we probably should work on that. You want to hear some whispers? Got it loaded up here, Croaks. I might need your help with the first one. Do you mind reading it for me? Because I'm not great at reading. This one's right, coming from Canada. Read this one out. Come to your inbox and mine today.
No, I reckon we should give credit to the person that sent it to us. What do you reckon? No? Isn't this out there? This is out there though.
Nah, I wouldn't if I was you. We can cut it out, but this is coming from I wouldn't.
All right. So the Canadian site Athletics Illustrated cited comments from anti-doping agency of Kenya head Sarah Shaboots that a major doping shock is coming. At the end of this month, so I'm assuming November, we'll sanction numerous athletes across part of our strategy in fighting the vice as we prepare for the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, France. We want to send clean athletes to the Olympics to avoid the shame the nation has received in recent major championships. She said that ADAK is getting better at finding the athletes they need to find. We are now getting to know their, in brackets, athletes in hiding information. We are gathering information about their training camps, their coaches, and their managers. But be warned, a shock is coming.
50 names as well, I saw in an article. They're going to release 50 names at the end of November.
And supposedly, probably a couple of big dogs maybe.
Yeah, well, if you're going to say that, be warned, a shock is coming. That has to be one of the top dogs.
Yeah.
Wait and see.
But I wonder if it's like, because when we received this today, Brady, I sort of emailed back and I was just like, I wonder if it's, one of the, there's probably 5 or 6 like really big names in Kenya distance running.
You say that, but there's also a whole heap of them around like 203, 204.
Yeah.
That are significant performers, but maybe not globally big names.
But to me, it's more about like, I feel like, but be warned, a shock is coming, almost like Lance Armstrong, announcement for cycling.
Stay tuned.
I hope so. I like it. Like, I want to see some names go. I want to get some of the major public seeing this. I think if we can get this in the main newspapers and on TV about the big names going down and how rotten it can be in the sport, then it might force it all to get cleaned up.
Yeah, I think there's only 2 or 3 big names that will go mass media.
Yeah.
So, I guess we can name the names because I'm not saying that they're doping, but if someone like Kipchoge was done, Kipton was done.
That's the top one, isn't it, Kipchoge?
Kipchoge,
that would be the biggest shock.
Yeah, I reckon even someone like Kip Yeagon though would be another big one. Beatrice Chebet, she's the reigning, she's the world cross country champion at the moment. Tim Chariot, maybe not such a big dog at the moment compared to, a few years ago, but they're probably the top 5 that I can think of off the top of my head that would, make a few waves. But I'm obviously not saying that it's going to be one of them, but who else would be bigger than those 5? Do you reckon
that's all
pretty much it? Yeah.
I don't think we're seeing a top 5 go.
Be warned, Moose, a shock is coming.
Yeah, there are no top 5s going, that's for sure. They'll look after the top 5s.
Yeah, wait and see the end of November. A couple more whispers. I've got some people on the ground doing some work for me in Melbourne. Yeah. Just keep an eye out if you're in an area where you see big top Australian distance runners jogging around and they're wearing different kit at the moment, there might be a few movements going on with different brands, is it contract season, Moose? You know more about this than me.
Oh, everyone's on their own schedule for contract season. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I've just had a couple of sightings of some big athletes in different kit. So I'm just, can't say too much yet because I want to verify it, but just some good sources coming into my DMs.
Hey, just on that, just on contracts and how it all works, would it be fair to say that the sort of bigger dog athletes, their contracts work more on potentially an Olympic cycle? whereas the tier under that are maybe more of a year by year?
I think it depends a little on the agent and how long they can get out of a particular brand for their athlete. I know long contracts are quite good for an athlete who's maybe more established, whereas perhaps shorter contracts for an up-and-comer can work well because once they make their breakthrough, they can renegotiate quickly.
Yeah. Because I was chatting to a few people here in Canberra that are on contracts, and they were sort of locked up until the end of the next Olympics, to the end of the next Olympics.
I don't think many people will be changing brands or changing contracts before an Olympics. I reckon most of them will have like the what do you call it? The reviews after the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing, I talked about this Paul Robinson last week, potentially taking up a coaching job in Australia. A whisper come in today about a big brand potentially creating/taking over a big training group in Australia. Anything across your desk about that one?
No, nothing.
No, these whispers are real specific.
Very good source this one's come from. Yeah.
Very specific. I haven't. Keep going, mate.
Yeah, I just heard some big names. Maybe one of your mates, Moose, as the head coach, and yeah.
Matt Gunther.
No, not quite Matty Gunther. Getting close though.
Yeah.
Can't say too much, but I'll just put those whisperings out there and working on them. I'll keep working on them the next couple of weeks. I won't stop whispering, and just we'll keep seeing what's going to come in the inbox. But a few things just burning away in the background. What's coming up, fellas? What do you got happening, Croaks?
What do I have happening? Not a great deal. Bit of work. Just getting this house ready for auction. So our investment properties going for auction in the start of December. So we're down doing some stuff yesterday underneath the house to fix up the building report. So a bit more of that.
You've been on the tools yourself.
Well, we had to go under and pick. So how they do building reports when they're you're going to sell a house. So they found a heap of just timber offcuts underneath Viv's house that she owned, because it was one of those older houses that was sort of built up on bricks on stilts or whatever it is, and so we could have paid somebody to go and do it, or just go under ourselves. So we went over yesterday afternoon underneath the house and had to pull out all of these sort of timber offcuts, which there's not a lot of space underneath the house.
Yeah.
Bit sore today.
Getting dirty.
It was real blue collar. It was real dirty.
I like that from you. Moose, what do you got coming up between now and next week?
I'm going to Melbourne for the conference.
Oh, yeah, good luck
with
that.
So we got our little conference, so changing things around, not as much product showing and more dialing into some tech, some of the overseas shoe designers going straight to the headquarters, that kind of stuff. So it's going to be really interesting. Going to be seeing a few new shoes that I haven't seen yet. Haven't seen the range yet from New Balance and Hoka, so I'll see those. And then see Nike's range, which I've seen a few catalogs for, online catalogs with some interesting stuff. Pretty cool. But we're going to have a chat with Nike as well, and hopefully they give us some more insights into their product.
Who are you working out with down there or jogging with?
Probably the crew, probably the team. We'll roll out together.
Oh, your staff. Yeah, okay.
Well, not my staff,
but
the
running company. Everyone from the running company.
You got Max Stevens. He owns the Adelaide store now.
Yeah, I know that actually. Yeah.
So he'll be there. I'll dust him up. Much better marathoner than Max Stevens. There's a lot of fast people now. Actually, Max was definitely going to be the fastest, but now he got a business. He'll be slow forever. Who else is there? I don't know. Could be it.
Okay. Thought you might have been catching up with Zaka. Do a jog with him or two.
Zaka goes out too late. Zaka is up all night on his mobile phone. So I can't, I've got to run early. I got work to do. He's going to be tired. He goes to bed at 3 a.m.
Didn't he stand you up last time you were in Melbourne weren't you going to run with him before Melbourne Marathon?
He said, "Hey, Moose, you want to run?" And then 2 minutes later I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, we already left." Yeah, right. Cool. Thanks, Zaka.
This is real calm before the storm this week, isn't it? Because the week after is Valencia. Zatopek, Fukuoka.
Oh, it's going to be the best watch.
Oh, it's going to be such a great weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What day is that, actually? Let me write that in my diary.
It's like 2nd and 3rd of December, isn't it?
Yeah, so Zatopek will be Saturday night, and then I guess around lunchtime or early afternoon you'll have Fukuoka on Sunday, that is, and then at like 5 o'clock or something Sunday night you'll have Valencia. So
it's going to be so
pretty
good. So good.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the
That'd
Valencia
nice
Elite Fields? 150 men, sub 220, 63 ladies, under 230, plus like 20 debuts who are probably capable of that.
Oh.
It's going to be incredible.
Valencia has like exploded since, because I remember in 2018 when I was going to go over there, and they had that program for like sub 220 runners. So if you had broken 220, they were going to put you up for a couple of nights, and then your guaranteed payment if you ran, I think it was a PB. But like the fact now you've got 150 sub 220 men, like would have been, I don't know, 50 maybe back then. It's crazy.
Incredible. All right, boys, let's leave it at that. We've got a very special guest coming on now. Bree and Viv, your two better halves, are going to be talking about some Lululemon product that they've been reviewing. Absolutely smashed these reviews. Goes for about half an hour. They do a bit of a catch-up with their own running and stuff, what they've been up to in life. I think they say it's the first time they've been on air together since the Road to Berlin days. I don't know if we'll ever get an opportunity to review anything again, boys. They did such a good job.
They were very thorough with it, yeah.
Were you listening in the room when they did it?
Yeah, because I think Viv was pretty nervous, but yeah, she did a pretty good job, I thought.
Pretty good. So tune in for that one. See you all next week.
See ya.
Hi, I'm Viv, Craig's wife, and I'm joined by Bree, Julian's better half, and to be honest, the MVP of the running company Geelong. How you going, Bree?
Oh, I like that. That little addition was cool. I'm really good, thanks. How are you going?
Really well. 6 kids, but apart from that, life's pretty good.
Yeah, it's almost like an inevitable sort of hurdle when you have young kids. There's always a week of sickness that's anywhere around the corner.
Mm-hmm. We actually haven't spoken or like had a little podcast chat since 2017 when we were on the Road to Berlin series.
Wow, that's so long ago. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Not that I've missed it, but that's it's nice to talk to you again.
Thank you. You too. How is your running going? Brad told me that the Geelong Pussycats have moved up to Div 1 next year.
Yeah.
So congrats on that.
Yeah. It was this last year's been it's been fun actually, like doing a cross country season for the first time. I've kind of always shied away from cross country. I've never really enjoyed it, or probably just avoided it more because I didn't think that I would enjoy it. But yeah, running for Geelong and our girls team, we just kind of called ourselves the Pussycats. We had a really strong team this year. We were able to fill a few divisions. So it was really good. And running's going well. Just staving away a few injuries, and same with us having a few sicknesses in the house as well. So just making the most of the opportunities to get out when you can.
That's great. And you're even setting new PBs as well, post kids and sickness and everything else, moving houses. I hear you did really well in your half marathon in Melbourne the other weekend.
Yeah, that was unexpected actually. But yeah, I think some of those ones when you just take the pressure off and you just sort of go out and have a crack, they're the ones that kind of come together the best on the day. So that was a heap of fun. How about you? You doing some running? Yeah.
Look, I'm trying to get back into it. I have to admit, after having the 2 kids, my urge to get back running wasn't very high, and I have been quite lazy. But I've been building up, and then sickness will happen. Well, then Brad's heart happened this year, and so I haven't really wanted to go out running as much. But I sort of decided that I need to do it just for my own sort of mental health and just a little bit of me time, because having the kids at home, and I love them, but also I just need me time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So my running journey's it's pretty easy. It's just a 2-week cycle or combination of like a fartlek and tempos or 3-minute reps and then heels. I alternate between that every 2 weeks just to slowly build my fitness up and eventually, hopefully, maybe look at doing some races next year, maybe some 10Ks, maybe a half marathon, but sticking very not going anywhere near the marathon for a while until I really get a few more years underneath my belt, just continuous running.
That's such a wise decision. And I think as well, just, having a busy lifestyle, a busy schedule, being a parent, like whatever you're doing sort of at home as well, like all that sort of adds up and it's stress on the body. And I think like a 10K and a half marathon, it's so achievable to train for those distances and still give it a really good hot crack. You can still go really hard and you can still have a really good go, and it's just so much easier to kind of fit that training into time frames. So I think that's a really good idea. And then as the kids get older, opening up a little bit of extra time, and maybe Brad retires from running, so you get a priority and bring on the marathon.
That sounds nice, but let's be honest, I don't think he's ever going to stop running. I mean, he's had almost like heart attacks this year and it still hasn't stopped him running. But yeah, I think he definitely will slow down eventually, and then I will be able to take the time for me and go for runs, and he can look after the kids and ferry the kids to school sports and play dates as much as he won't like to do that. But I guess we're lucky here. We're lucky enough to be sent a range of items to trial for Lululemon. So we might as well get started with that. Firstly, Brie, what did they send you to look at?
Yeah, so I got a few garments in my kit. It was actually really nice to receive a parcel and have Lululemon branded all over it and have this little surprise come in the mail. That was that made my day, actually. So I received 4 pieces. I received a bra, a pair of shorts, a race tank, and a tee. So I think we're going to kind of delve into each of those pieces in a little bit more detail. But I have been loving my pieces. I've actually, I do own a fair bit of Lululemon running kit already. So to receive this was really exciting, just because a few of my favorite pieces are in here. So you can never have too much running kit.
That's a really good point, because I was going to ask you, do you wear Lululemon? Because I don't. And so this is the first time that I've actually received Lululemon, or I've actually, got some Lululemon to try on. I think I was always a little bit turned off Lululemon. I just felt like it didn't really support my body shape, especially post kids. I always thought, it just wasn't really me. But I'm the same. I got a bra to try on. I got the race tank to try on, the shorts, and some tights. And I have to say, when I tried them on, they felt amazing. Really, really loved the feel of them on my body, and we'll dive a little bit deeper into each product in a moment.
Yeah, beautiful.
So first off, let's talk about something in common. We both got the race tank. What is it? The fast and free race length tank. And did you get yours in bone?
So I got in black, actually. So I'm actually a sucker for black. I can't really do the nude colors. My skin doesn't handle that very well. But the race tank is something that I've actually been wearing a lot. We've had a few humid mornings down here on the coast, and I think now, like just with the season changing, it's pretty much a given that you're going to be going out in, short sleeves to no sleeves at all. So on those slightly warmer mornings, I actually wore this on my long run on Sunday, and it was just perfect. The breathability of the fabric is amazing, and it is in a slightly cropped cut as well. So it's a little bit of a sort of a boxier straight line with a crop hem, and the fabric is just so light that you don't even realize that it's sitting on your body. It is relatively seamless as well. So the neckline's seamless. The hem is seamless. So it is just a really beautiful, lightweight product. And the breathability is just, it's really awesome. I love it.
I agree.
How have you been going?
Yeah, so today was the first time I actually wore the tank because it hasn't really been warm enough to wear it. But yeah, I totally agree. It just felt so buttery and smooth, and I was a little bit apprehensive of the little high-rise crop at the top, going, oh, that's a bit short, because traditionally you've sort of had sort of the one length hem, or it's been like scooped, or what do you call it, like a nice little U shaped at the front and the back. But it went really, really well. I loved the breathability because it was a bit warmer here today, and it did feel a little bit humid, that I felt like it wasn't sticking to my skin, which I don't know about you, but I hate when you have the running clothes and it feels like it's sticking to your body. It just doesn't make you feel good, and I know it doesn't really look great either.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look good.
No, but even actually after wearing it today, it still feels real light and breathable. Like it doesn't feel like the moisture wicking. Yeah, it's because I did have a bit of a sweat in it. It doesn't feel wet at all, which I was really surprised with. And it's a really nice feature of the tank. And I think because I got it in the bone color, and I am the same with you, I do like the color black. But the bone, it worked really nicely against my other Lululemon gear. I had the nice navy tights and navy shorts, but I also would feel comfortable just putting this over just anything else and going out to the shops or going for a walk with friends. It just looks really, really nice, and it feels really comfortable as well.
Yeah, I think, one aspect of Lululemon in all their range is just how classy a lot of the garments are. And I'm just going to hold this up. I don't know if we're using video or not, but like just the breathability, maybe it's this side, you can kind of see pattern through the fabric, and you can sort of see how breathable that fabric is, and it just really feels that against the skin. And you're absolutely right in, like, I hate anything sticking to me. As soon as I start to sweat, just having that feel of your clothes sticking to you is just an absolute turn off. So the fact that you can sweat in a product and it just wicks that moisture away without sticking to your body, that's a winner for me.
Perfect. And I should actually say, what do you look for personally when you are purchasing running apparel?
Yeah, so I think we're in a little bit of a luxurious position with just having so much running gear at our fingertips. So for us, a lot of the product that we sort of range ourselves in the store is kind of what I grab. I'm also one to kind of not I kind of hold on to my running gear for a fairly long time. I'm not, I just wash and wear and wash and wear and wash and wear. So I think in terms of the quality of the product, the quality of the materials is something that is really important. And also after washing the product and wearing it a few times, how well that garment stays in shape, and how it keeps feeling with repetitive wears. And there's nothing worse than, especially shorts or tights or a product that you're wearing on the bottom half, just having that feel loose, baggy, saggy, all of those things that you just don't want your shorts to feel like over, a month or two of wearing. So just quality materials, quality fits, and also it has to look good.
Definitely agree. I agree with you. What I look for is has to look good, has to be comfortable and practical, which their gear certainly is when you definitely talk about the bottom half with the range of pockets that they have. But moving on to the next one, you also received a running bra. Could you tell me which one that you got?
Yeah, so I got the high energy bra. So it's, I guess it's designed for medium impact training. I think you got a different one to me, didn't you? You got a higher neck one, yeah. So it does have a scoop neckline. It does have these really nice open sort of airy straps at the back. There's no clasp, which I actually love. So it's just a pull-on crop. So I'm not really one for like clipping up the back of your bra. Just the fact that you can pull it on over the head. There's enough stretch in the product to be able to do that. But then also enough support to keep you feeling supported and locked down through the bust. I also love, I don't know about many other people, but I actually also love that this has these little tiny pockets on the inside for the removable liner. So there is actually a little cup liner in both sides of the bra. I like that, just gives me an extra sense of support. So I actually really like those. I know some women would probably prefer to take that out if they maybe are a little bit busty. They don't want any extra bulk, but it does just feel like it gives me a little bit of support. Same kind of deal with this in terms of like putting it on. Actually, I wish I did just get it. It's a little bit too small for me. So yeah, my sizing in this bra kind of just didn't quite correlate to the rest of the products. But if one size up would be actually absolutely amazing. It is just a little bit firmer around just my ribs, but maybe that adds to the support too. So maybe it is a good option to go that little bit firmer. But yeah, I've been actually really loving it. How about you, Viv? Have you been going with the higher neck one?
Yeah, so I traditionally would go more of a scoop neck like you, but then what I got sent was the high neck. And when I talk about the high neck, it actually goes up just underneath my neck. So I did notice that they do have one that kind of goes about collarbone, where this one goes really quite high, which I was a little bit, that's different. I will agree with the firmness. Maybe I actually got the wrong size as well. It did feel a little bit tight on my bust, but it also, when I go for runs in it, it actually added to the support. So it's not like I can't go running in it. I actually can, and it feels really comfortable, as it does say like on the product that it is a medium high, like a medium impact, but it definitely didn't feel like a medium impact. It felt like I was nice and secure. Nothing was going to fly out anywhere. And it was actually, I know, especially after having kids, things change. But it felt really, really lovely to wear. And also, I don't actually do this because I don't have the confidence to do it. But if you were going for a walk with friends or around the lake and it was a bit hot and you just wanted to take off your shirt, this crop would also feel like a nice sort of crop that you can actually just go, oh, okay, I'm going to take off my shirt, go for, keep walking, and no one's going to bat an eyelid. It's quite modest. Everything,
a little bit more coverage.
A little bit more coverage, exactly.
Beautiful.
It's got the same as you at the back, the nice racing strap. I've never owned a running bra that has a running clip. I've always had pullover crops, so that was normal for me. The only thing I would say, and it could also be the sizing, is that for me, one of the shoulders just feels a little bit more tight. It sort of feels like when you wear a handbag, if you have a handbag and it's just on one shoulder, you just feel like that shoulder is just a bit weighing down and heavy. And it could just be that it might just be a size small, because at the ends of my runs, I feel like, it feels like I've just been walking around the shops with a handbag on my shoulder, and just one side feels a little bit sore and heavy. But apart from that, the fabric was lovely. Everything felt supported. I do love that little extra, as you mentioned before, the little slip that you can either take the padded cup in or out. I haven't actually washed it yet. Gross. I know, but it's only been the second time that I've worn it this week. So I'm interested to see how it actually goes in the wash.
Yeah, I washed mine, and I just find, so I just actually I wash it with the cups in. I'm actually not sure, like I haven't read too much into it, and I wash it with the cups in, but they do fold over in the wash, so I just open them up and flatten them out and lay it to dry. But yeah, I like the versatility of the one that you got with the higher neck, just having that option to be able to kind of run in the crop or not. I do like a more modest cut in my crop if I'm going to sort of take my singlet off during a run or whatever. If I did that in this, I'd feel like I'm wearing my bikinis, I think. So I think just in terms of like just preferences for wearing under or over, not over clothes. Depending on if you're going to wear a smaller crop with a singlet or a longer sort of more modest cut, like you said, and take that top layer off. There's some versatility with those two, so that's perfect.
The next one we should move on to, I guess, will be the shorts. So we both also received the same what is it called? Maybe fast and free.
Yep.
Yeah. Rafe high-rise shorts. Did you get the 6-inch ones too?
Yeah, the 6-inch. Yep. So I got this blue
color. Wow.
Yeah.
What is that? What color is that?
It's just this really iridescent blue. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what color Lululemon call it, but I actually do have another pair of these already that I previously owned, and it was in the previous version of this color. So as soon as I received this color, I was loving it. So I'm just actually jumping on to see. They call it Pipe Dream Blue, and it is beautiful. This light doesn't do it justice, but it is awesome. I actually I've always been a lover of black shorts.
Yeah.
This season I have gone all different colored shorts and just kept with the black top. Yeah. You've got to be a bit careful with some colored shorts in terms of like how much you're sweating. So some moisture patterns do show up on some colors, but I actually found these to not have that issue yet. We're not in the depth of summer, but I love these shorts. These are the best running shorts I own. I also have them without a pocket as well. So I already own some. And there is a few sort of details that I really love about the pocket short. So I actually really love the high rise. So the high rise for me, I just have this extra sense of comfort and support with my shorts when they do just come up a little bit higher. So I would say they come up to belly button height. Like, I'm not sure sort of how you feel about the height of the short, but around sort of belly button-ish waist height. And just with that 6-inch leg seam as well, that it's short, but it's not too short and it's not long. And what I really love about the Lulu shorts compared to any other tight short I've worn is that they do not ride up my legs.
Oh, so there's where we differ because I wanted to love, as soon as I opened these up, I was like, yes, these are my tights. Like I can't wait to try them on. And I tried them on. They felt amazing. Did you know, Brie, that there are 7 pockets in these shorts?
Yeah, I actually haven't counted them.
Well,
I was just going around and I was like, there's actually a lot of pockets in the waistband, and then you get your 2 on the legs. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 nice like deep ones on the legs and then 4 like on the waistband, which, you know, it's great if you're like in training for a marathon or a half marathon. You want to put your gels, your keys, your credit cards, any other personal items for a woman if you need to put that anywhere. But yeah, that I only found out that there were 7 pockets tonight. I thought it was just maybe 3 or 4. But yeah, I really wanted to love these shorts. I wanted to give them like a 10 out of a 10, but I wore them for a session and they felt great running down to the session. But as soon as I started doing like a faster leg turnover, one side started to creep up. And then once that side started to creep up, that's all my mind could think about and feel was just that creeping up leg, which was a real shame. But then I wore them again today on just like an easy jog, did not creep up, but I did actually put a little bit of a weight in the other side. So I had 2 weights in the pockets to counterbalance. But I did wear them after that for the rest of the day. Like we took the just walking around outside with the kids, and they didn't ride up and they felt fantastic. So I don't know if it was just maybe the quicker leg turnover for me that they rode up, and maybe it's just because I'm a bit more shapely. My legs are just a different shape, but so that was a disappointment for me for that, but it could just be me.
Yeah, it's funny because Jules and I always comment about how my bum likes to eat my shorts, and these are the only ones that it doesn't want to eat the shorts. So I've just gone really red.
Does he like it then, or is he like, oh, well, no, I don't really love them, Brie. Like they don't really show off your bum.
I don't like that my bum eats shorts, so I actually really like these. I actually, in terms of pockets, so I alternate between just depending on the day or like what I'm going to be doing with the pocket and versus without the pocket. I love that so I wear my pocket shorts for Sunday long runs. So just pop a gel my car key if I'm running with the group or whatever, if I'm driving to sort of driving to meet the group, or gels. So, or a race day. So I actually wore my black version of the pocket short at Melbourne Half. So I had a gel in each pocket as well. And so I love the pockets for that. I also love the pockets for if I'm wearing a pair of these shorts just on a daily, like as a daily wear with a T-shirt or whatever. If I'm walking out with the pram, I can just put my phone in the side pocket. You can kind of just be self-sufficient with the pockets and not have to worry about carrying anything in your hands, which with young children is it's a deal breaker, I think. So yeah, I love the shorts. I've actually got a few different sizes in the shorts. I actually find the Lululemon sizing across the range just really tricky to navigate. I have bought a few garments in just the wrong sizes, just without trying things on. But I think I've kind of nailed my size in the shorts now, so I'm really happy about that. But would you say with your shorts that you had to go down another size? Yeah, smaller. Yeah, that's right. I've got a few pairs in a size bigger than what I got these ones. And then my last 3 pairs of these have been the same size, which is a size smaller. I actually have another pair, which is 2 sizes smaller. They're tight, but they're still wearable. I think that's one thing about the high waist is you can afford to be a little bit smaller and it doesn't feel like it's cutting in anywhere. It sort of sits right over the hips and it's just really comfy. I think the sizing can be really versatile, but not bigger, if anything, be smaller in them.
That could be where I went wrong. I didn't really know what size I was, so I went what size I thought I was, and maybe that's my problem. Maybe I'm just a size too big.
Yeah. I don't know how to explain their sizing properly, but someone said because it's US sizing, they use US sizing. And I don't really own much, like many items no running. I don't own any running items in US sizing. So I originally went in like the same, I kind of bought stuff thinking it was relative size to what I'd normally wear and it was just too big. So sizing down. So I think someone said it's 4 sizes smaller than what you'd normally wear.
Oh my God. I never would have got that.
Yeah, I think that's what someone said to me once before. So if you're an 8, normally you'd be a 4 in Lulu stuff. Yeah, so the size conversion is a little bit tricky. So if I just have a look on their site now, so they've got so if you're generally, say, like an Australian size 10, you'd be a size 6 in Lulu shorts. An Australian size 8, you'd choose a 4. Or if you're a 6, you'd choose a 2. So, yes, 4 sizes smaller than what you would normally wear to get that sizing right. So if that helps, that might be, a little tip there.
Yeah, great. Moving on, you also received a T-shirt.
Mm-hmm. It's a bit smelly. I haven't washed it since I wore it yesterday. So luckily you can't smell it through the screen. But did you receive the same one?
No, so I got some full-length tights instead.
Yeah, beautiful. So the T-shirt is the Swiftly Tech short sleeve tee.
Nice.
I'm not much of a T-shirt wearer, to be honest. I'm either wearing a long sleeve or a tank or a singlet. I have a few T-shirts that I kind of put on just depending on. But the short sleeve is actually just a little bit of a cap sleeve. So it's not like a massive sleeve that comes down onto your biceps. So it's just a little bit to cover the shoulders, which on some of these slightly cooler mornings has been really lovely. Just to have something that's covering a little bit more skin than a singlet. The fabric of their, I'm going to sort of equate this to like the dry fit knit of what Nike make, or a lot of the brands are doing like a knit fabric. It's just super soft, like really, really soft. Like you mentioned before about that kind of buttery soft feel. It's just so soft. And again, the moisture wicking material, you don't even feel like it's wet at all. So you can wear it in like a misty rain or on a really humid morning, and the capacity of the fabric just to wick that moisture away is awesome. I've been really loving my tee. I think I might be a little bit of a convert to this Tepti. And the tights, have you been really enjoying the tights?
Really like the tights. So it's been a little bit too hot to wear the tights, but I did wear the tights to a running event last Sunday. So that's sort of enough. But I love them. I like what you touched on with the shorts about the pockets. There are 7 pockets in the tights. It's pretty much the shorts, but longer in the tight version. And I really like what you said about being able just to put your phone or your keys quickly in your pockets, because I had the 2 kids with me on Sunday and I did not have free hands at all. So being able just to quickly whack my phone in my pocket, wrap my keys into my pockets was really, really nice. It's a high rise as well. So what are the tights called? They're called Fast and Free High Rise Tights, 25-inch. I got them in the navy. They're, again, just super. I really love these tights. Super, super soft to feel. The pockets, the waist, the high waist, it's so comfortable. I would agree. It's probably up to your belly button height. It's very flattering, just really flattering as well, just to wear with like a nice like oversized shirt over the top. You can either just wear it to, I felt comfortable wearing it to the running race, but also if I had to go out for a walk or whatever, I'd feel like it's a lovely tight. So I'm really looking forward to wearing these actually next year when it gets cold here in Canberra, because I don't really wear tights much unless it's in the minus. I probably about -5. Apart from that, I always
wow, you're brave.
Yeah, I know. I feel the cold more on my upper body, so I really layer up my upper bodies and my hands and my ears, because I've got such big ears, as Brad always says. So I need to wear like a headband because that gets cold. So Lululemon, if you got a headband, I'm here for it. Yeah, so that's pretty much my review of the 4 clothing. Bree, do you have anything else to add to it?
I don't think so. I just actually one thing. Just wanted to touch on the fabric thickness of the tights and the shorts. So I think that's where like a lot of women really kind of want a piece of clothing to wear, whether it is a pair of shorts or tights, that they're not going to feel that it's see-through. So the fabric thickness, I wouldn't say that it's thick fabric, but the quality of the fabric is so good that it is not at all see-through. You can kind of do like the bend and stretch test if you're trying them on in the fitting rooms at a Lululemon store, but you can put them on, you can bend over, you can use them in the gym and know that you're not going to have a pair of shorts or a pair of tights that is see-through. So I think that's something that's really important just from a female's perspective about a pair of shorts or tights. It just makes you feel that little bit more confident in wearing them, knowing that they're actually giving you some full coverage.
That's really good added content right there. Because you don't always wear your tights running or walking. They're versatile. The shorts and tights are quite versatile, and you wear them in everyday life and at the gym as well. Well, we'll wrap this up because we've been going for a lot longer than what the boys probably thought we would have been. But a big shout out again to Lululemon for allowing us to try these items out. And I personally really, really love their gear, and I probably will put that on my Christmas list. So Bradley, if you're hearing this, I want some Lululemon gear, please. Thanks, Brie.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, Viv. It was so nice to talk to you. And huge shout out to Lululemon for giving us the opportunity to wear some more kit. It's definitely up there on my list of favorites. So I've been loving it. It's been fun.
Awesome. Well, nice to see you. Catch up with you later.
Yeah, thanks so much, Viv. We'll talk soon. Bye.
This episode of the Inside Running Podcast is powered by Lululemon. With 44 stores across Australia and New Zealand, you can shop the latest range either in-store or online at lululemon.com.au to find your well-being.